The Story of Burnt and Jowl.
1861 translation into English by George W. Darcent from the original Icelandic Brenwen Jarls Sarger.
Chapter 1 of Fiddle Mod. There was a man named Mod whose surname was Fiddle. He was the son of Sigvat the Red, and he dwelt at the File in the Rangriver Vales. He was a mighty chief, and a great taker up of suits, and so great a lawyer that no judgments were thought lawful unless he had a hand in them. He had an only daughter named Anna. She was a fair, virtuous, and gifted woman, and that was thought the best match in all the Rangriver Vales. Now the story turns westward to the Brobfirth Dales, where, at Horskeldstead, in Laxriverdale, dwelt a man named Horskeld, who was Dalcyl's son, and his mother's name was Thurgida. He had a brother named Hrat, who dwelt at Hrutstead. He was of the same mother as Horskeld, but his father's name was Heriulf. Hrat was handsome, all and strong, skilled in arms, and mild of temper. He was one of the wisest of men, stern towards his foes, and a good counsellor on great matters. It happened once that Horskeld bade his friends to a feast, and his brother Hrat was there, and sat next him. Horskeld had a daughter named Holgerda, who was playing on the floor with some other girls. She was fair of face, and tall of growth, and her hair was as soft as silk. It was so long, too, that it came down to her waist. Horskeld called out to her, "Come hither to me, daughter." So she went up to him, and he took her by the chin, and kissed her, and after that she went away. Then Horskeld said to Hrat, "What dost thou think of this maiden? Is she not fair?" Hrat held his peace. Horskeld said the same thing to him a second time, and then Hrat answered, "Fair enough is this maid, and many will smart for it. At this I know not, whence Fife's eyes have come into our race." Then Horskeld was wroth, and for a time the brothers saw little of each other.
Chapter 2. Hrat woos Anna. It happened once that those brothers, Horskeld and Hrat, rode to the Althing, and there was much people at it. Then Horskeld said to Hrat, "One thing I wish, brother, and that is, that thou wouldst better thy lot and woo thyself a wife." Hrat answered, "That has been long on my mind, though there always seemed to be two sides to the matter. But now I will do as thou wishest. Whither shall we turn our eyes?" Horskeld answered, "Here now are many chiefs at the Thing, and there is plenty of choice. But I have already set my eyes on a spot where a match lies made to thy hand. The woman's name is Anna, and she is a daughter of Fiddlemord, one of the wisest of men. He is here at the Thing, and his daughter too, and thou mayst see her if it pleases thee." Now the next day, when men were going to the High Court, they saw some well-dressed women standing outside the booths of the men from the Rangriver Vales. Then Horskeld said to Hrat, "Yonder now is Anna, of whom I spoke. What thinkest thou of her?" "Well," answered Hrat, "but yet I do not know whether we should get on well together." After that they went to the High Court, where Fiddlemord was laying down the law as was his wont, and all he had done he went home to his booth. Then Horskeld and Hrat rose, and went to Mord's booth. They went in and found Mord sitting in the innermost part of the booth, and they bade him good day. He rose to meet them, and took Horskeld by the hand and made him sit down by his side, and Hrat sat next to Horskeld. So after they had talked much of this and that, at last Horskeld said, "I have a bargain to speak to thee about. Hrat wishes to become thy son-in-law, and buy thy daughter, and I, for my part, will not be sparing in the matter." Mord answered, "I know that thou art a great chief, but thy brother is unknown to me." "He is a better man than I," answered Horskeld. "Thou wilt need to lay down a large sum with him, for she is heir to all I leave behind me," said Mord. "There is no need," said Horskeld. "Wait long before thou hearest what I give my word he shall have. He shall have Camness and Hrutstead up as far as Thrandargil, and a trading ship beside, now on her voyage." Then said Hrat to Mord, "Bear in mind, now, husband, that my brother has praised me much more than I deserve for love's sake. But if after what thou hast heard thou wilt make the match, I am willing to let thee lay down the terms thyself." Mord answered, I have thought over the terms. She shall have 60 hundreds down, and this sum shall be increased by a third more in thine house. But if he too avers, ye shall go halves in the goods doth. Then said Trut, I agree to these terms, and now let us take witness. After that they stood up and shook hands, and Mord betrothed his daughter Anna to Trut, and the bridal feast was to be at Mord's house, half a month after midsummer. Now both sides ride home from the thing, and Hoskuld and Trut ride westward by Haldrun's beacon. Then Thiostolf, the son of Bjorn Gulber of Reykjadale, rode to meet them, and told them how a ship had come out from Norway to the White River, and how aboard of her was Osur, Trut's father's brother, and he wished Trut to come to him as soon as ever he could. When Trut heard this, he asked Hoskuld to go with him to the ship. So Hoskuld went with his brother, and when they reached the ship, Trut gave his kinsmen Osur kind and hearty welcome. Osur asked them into his booth to drink, so their horses were unsaddled, and they went in and drank. And while they were drinking, Trut said to Osur, "Now, kinsman, thou must ride west with me, and stay with me this winter." "That cannot be, kinsman, for I have to tell thee the death of thy brother Eyvind, and he has left thee as heir at the Gulur thing, and now thy foes will seize thy heritage, unless thou comest to claim it."
"What's to be done now, brother?" said Trut to Hoskuld, "for this seems a hard matter, coming just as I have fixed my bridal day."
"Thou must ride south," said Hoskuld, "and see Mord, and ask him to change the bargain which ye two have made, and to let his daughter sit for thee 3 winters as thy betrothed. But I will ride home and bring down thy wares to the ship." Then said Trut, "I wishes that thou shouldest take meal and timber, and whatever else thou needest out of the lading."
So Trut had his horses brought out, and he rode south, while Hoskuld rode home west.
Trut came east to the Rengriva to Mord, and had a good welcome, and he told Mord all his business, and asked his advice what he should do. "How much money is this heritage?" asked Mord, and Trut said it would come to 100 marks, if he got it all. "Well," said Mord, "that is much when set against what I shall leave behind me, and thou shalt go for it, if thou wilt."
After that they broke their bargain, and Anna was to sit waiting for Trut 3 years as his betrothed.
Now Trut rides back to the ship, and stays by her during the summer, till she was ready to sail, and Hoskuld brought down all Trut's wares and money to the ship, and Trut placed all his other property in Hoskuld's hands to keep for him while he was away.
Then Hoskuld rode home to his house, and a little while after they got a fair wind and sail away to sea.
They were out 3 weeks, and the first land they made was Herne, Bergen, and so sail eastward to the bay.